And that is, something's happening in the churches of Galatia that is undercutting the gospel. He marvels that it's so soon. You know, if it was northern Galatia, and if northern Galatia, they would say that was written later, this phrase sort of wouldn't make sense to me. It's so soon that Paul has been there, he's planted the church, he's done some training, he's spent some time there, and actually we know that 2 other times he went back to this area and developed these disciples. But like he did everywhere he went, he preached the gospel, he spent some time grounding them, appointing leaders in the church who would help them stay faithful. But others have come in. And in coming in, they've begun to teach, as you read through the book of Galatians, that there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in order to not necessarily earn God's favor for salvation, but to maintain that favor. Though there are some places in Galatians where it seems to me they were teaching, no, Jesus is not enough. He sort of opens the door, but it's sort of up to you and what you do to earn and maintain God's favor in your life. It's like I heard Mel Gibson say when he was being interviewed after the Passion film came out. In many ways it was a great movie, but it sort of didn't make clear the gospel. And Mel was asked, what do you believe about the death of Christ, the purpose of it? And he gave the answer, which he did believe. It was the wrong answer, but he gave this answer. He says that Christ's death opens the door for salvation. And that's essentially what Christian religious people believe. The death of Christ sort of opens the door, but you have to do certain things to get through the door and stay in the door. Whereas we would say, we believe Jesus' words, his final words were true, tetelestai. It's paid in full. It's finished. It's done. So Paul's disturbed as a father to these people. That someone is coming in and telling them, the gospel isn't enough. It's not enough that Jesus died and rose again. You just can't rest in that, but there's stuff that you have to keep on doing in order to earn God's favor. And apparently it was working. These teachers were slowly taking them away. They haven't departed, but he says you are departing. And it could be either what we call an active or a middle or passive. They're walking away on themselves, or they're sort of being pulled away from the gospel. But they're moving. But in their moving, he says, you're not just moving to another position, another theological understanding. He says, you are moving from the one who called you in the grace of Christ. Because the gospel is what your relationship with God is all about. And to believe, to adhere to anything else, you are moving away from the one who called you in the grace of Jesus Christ. He's concerned. Let me say that I'm concerned. I've pastored 4 churches. Been a Christian for 39 years. And I know how easy it is to accept the gospel of grace, this free offer of redemption that's fully purchased by the death of Christ, that it's free, it's yours to accept it, and then to somehow lose the understanding of it very quickly that in order for me to be the right kind of Christian, in order for me to have God's blessing, in order for me to be in favor with God and to be that really spiritual person, then there's this whole list that I have to keep on performing. are so many Christians who, though initially they had the joy of being forgiven, knowing that as a sinner, God accepted them totally because of the work of Jesus Christ. And initially, when you get saved, you understand that that's joy. But then something happens along the way that joy is gone because somehow the understanding changes. Some sort of Judaizing thinking comes in that says, now in order to be in God's favor, I have to perform, I have to do. So I'm concerned that not only were the Galatians being removed, they were departing from the one who had called them by the grace of Christ, but that this is characteristic of Christianity. That so many Christians don't continue to grasp the gospel. John talked about preaching the gospel to yourself every day. And every day I understand I'm a sinner who needs to get saved. You may say, well, you got saved 39 years ago. I did, but I'm still being saved. The only reason I remain in fellowship with God is the same reason that I entered into fellowship with God 39 years ago. And that's the perfect work of Christ. That doesn't change. And every day I need that. Because as I read recently, there's enough stuff in all of our lives every day. Whether it's visible or invisible, there's enough stuff in all of our lives every day that would call many to question whether or not we're really Christians, if that's the measure.